So excuse the cars in the background. Today's Saturday. We are here at Harvest for the Hungry. I keep thinking I want to say Hope Farms, but Harvest for the Hungry in Freeport, Texas. They are a non-profit 501(c)(3). They actually have this large lake that they even have a sponsorship from Bass Pro Shop to stock their lake to teach kids how to fish. So a lot of cool stuff going on. They've got bees, they've got hydroponics, they've got greenhouses, they got all kinds of stuff going. They have a large orchard in the back that we're going to check out, weather permitting. It's starting to sprinkle right now. I've got the owner over here. We're going to go along with him and see what's going on. I think they got some trees to plant as well today, so we'll be going along with them and I'll try to get some good shots. I need a drone. This is why I need a drone right here. Ashley, let me buy a drone. They drive past this place every day going to work. It's just right along the main highway here going into Oyster Creek. So if you see the red barn that says Hungry for the Harvest, that's what you're looking at. This is this place right here. All right, so we just showed up at Harvest for the Hungry, and they're already planting garlic this morning.
Every 5 inches. Just go down there. Steven, you gotta stay on that side. We're doing the whole on this side.
Well, we didn't want to step on top of the ones we just did.
That's okay, bro.
Which were you?
Move it a little bit.
No, yeah.
It doesn't have to need to be exact, but has it been done?
They've not.
This is a garlic bed that they planted. They're planting that half today. They planted these last week. They started 2 weeks ago. And they've already got stuff coming up. You can see they topped it with mulch and leaves. And they've already got garlic coming up, which is pretty crazy because usually it takes a while for garlic to come up and develop. It's a very long process of growing garlic. They're having pretty good success over here. So they just planted that whole bed of garlic. And what would have taken like 2 people probably all day, they knocked it out in about an hour and a half with about 12 volunteers. It just goes to show you what volunteer work, how helpful it is around these little farms. So how many acres is this place?
61 acres.
61 acres.
Yeah. And so we got this property last year, November of 2019, once we got our 501(c)(3) status. And we, over the past year, have cleared the land part of the 61 acres. So 61 total acres, but 27 acres is water, lake and pond.
I see that, yeah.
And so the remaining parts we cleared of trees and brush and other things like that. And then we brought in a whole bunch of dirt, both clay and topsoil, and then we put in 450 fruit trees.
Oh wow.
And those fruit trees, most of them were discounted and from our sponsor Moon Nurseries,
Okay.
Moon Valley Nurseries.
Yeah, I think I've heard of them before.
Yeah, and so they planted 15 varieties of fruit here.
Wow.
So we have apples, apricots, nectarines, plums, tangerines, oranges, pomelos, persimmons, apricots, figs, and many, many others. And the reason why we chose these 15 different types of fruits is because we want the clientele, those that are working at those that are going to food pantries, to come here and be able to harvest throughout the year.
Right.
The difference between us and food pantries are that, number one, we provide healthy
Oh, I didn't know this is back here.
fruits and vegetables. Secondly, we give them an experience.
Right.
Instead of handing it out to them, we allow them to come here and pick the fruit and vegetables themselves, so
That's
they
amazing.
see where their fruit and their vegetables are coming from.
Right.
And then thirdly, we give them an education component. So after they pick the fruits and vegetables, that very moment they walk to the education center, which I'm going to take you by in a little bit.
Okay.
And we teach them how to prepare their food by licensed dietitians and cooks. Yeah. So
It's an all-in-one inclusive area.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah.
let me
You can't even see this in the road, so I never even knew this was back here.
So this is what I call the secondary orchard. What I did was I just bought 50 Home Depot fruit trees and I stuck them in the ground.
There you go.
And the other side, in the primary orchard, I call that primary because professionals did that and they planted it. We have warranties on them.
And I see y'all did a deep wood chip bedding as well.
Absolutely. And that's extremely helpful. As you know, Dustin. The wood chip mulch allows nutrition to get back into the soil, allows for water retention, it allows for weed control.
Correct.
And aesthetically, it looks better than weeds growing.
Not
all
having to
over the place.
weed everything, and you probably
Absolutely.
don't have to water as much too, because it holds in so much water.
Yes,
And
sir.
I know. I work down here, so I know you get a lot of water.
Absolutely. You can see there's just over there. You can see there's like a lake,
Right.
water spots, and then you can look over here in the mulch. We don't have those type of
You
spots.
don't even need rubber boots or anything to work in here. For the most part.
Work by volunteers. This is the beauty of this organization, is that we have the best volunteers in Brazoria County here. We have, as you can see, Joe Moreno. He's the Scoutmaster for Troop 325, and he brings out his group out here every first Saturday of the month. So we get at least 10 individuals from his group. We are now trying to engage the Future Farmers of America of Angleton High School.
Awesome.
As you can imagine, their vision and their goals would be aligned with ours.
Absolutely.
And then we
have
also
a field day out here for sure.
absolutely, and we have a lot of individuals who just are dedicated and passionate about helping their community.
Correct.
And that's what this is all about.
Right.
The group called Brazoria County Dream Center.
Okay.
And they are our wonderful partner, and they are basically serving food on a daily basis to the local Brazoria County. And given this COVID-19 pandemic, there's a huge need for healthy food to their clientele, especially with a lot of people losing their jobs.
Correct.
And so this is all from Brazoria County Dream Center, and I'm just going to open up one box, even though it says don't cut.
Need a knife?
No, it's okay. Just we have a whole bunch of Adolphus long grain rice that can be cooked in a very healthy manner, and as you can see, there's probably like 20 bags in each of these boxes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to load this up onto our truck, and then we're going to deliver it to the Brazos Cares food pantry.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Oh yeah, we love young gardeners.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You guys take this home and eat it.
I can't believe it. Well, we were coming to help, and all we did was leave with stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a bag to put that
Yeah,
stuff
if you
in.
don't want all the radishes, maybe we can find somewhere else. But
Yeah, definitely.
these,
They
they
went
were,
to town.
One person can only eat so many radishes.
Those are nice.
these are golden radish.
Oh, wow.
So, Dustin, this is our education center. As I mentioned before, we envision that the clientele will be picking the fruit and harvesting the vegetables, and after they do that, immediately they'll come into here. This is what we call the education center.
Okay.
And the difference, again, from us and others is that we give that experience and educational component. And so here, they'll get the educational component where they learn about the plants that they just harvested their fruits and vegetables from. They'll learn about the nutritional value of the fruits and vegetables that they procured. And then finally, there'll be licensed dietitians and cooks showing them how to prepare the foods that they just picked. And so that might be, as an example, jams, smoothies, not just salads, but
Right.
all other ways that they can have healthy cookings. We really want to emphasize the educational component because we think that's important, that when they take the fruits and vegetables back home, they know how to prepare it in different ways as opposed to just eating it raw.
Right. So everybody knows sounds boring.
Exactly, exactly. And so what you see over here on the left, these are pallets that you might see in Costco or other stores like that. And what we're doing here is we're growing vegetables by hydroponics.
Okay.
And we just actually harvested a large amount of vegetables, cabbages. This is what it ultimately will look like.
Wow.
And so these are cabbages that from seed to this head of cabbage, it'll be about 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
And so these are seedlings, and these were just planted. And as you can see, they're small, but these are the same types of cabbage that I just showed you. So in 4 to 6 weeks, this will be like a big head of a cabbage.
Is this the coconut core, or what is it?
This is rock wool.
Rock wool, that's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Exactly, and so
You can start the seed directly into the rock wool.
that's exactly right.
Right.
And that's what we do. And what we're holding up, this is basically just aluminum.
Space blanket, pretty much.
Space blanket, and it reflects the light, so it allows even light across all the plants.
Now, is there circulation of the water or anything like that?
No, so this is called the Kratzky method, and you may be familiar
Yes.
with it. And so half the root, for your audience, half the root is in the water growth medium, and the other half is exposed to just oxygen. And that's the way you can grow hydroponics without circulating
Correct.
the water. So this is Nevada Summercrisp, this is Cherokee Summercrisp, and that over there is Mirror Summercrisp. And so again, 4 to 6 weeks, this will be filled with cabbage heads.
This is something someone could do in their garage too.
Absolutely.
It's crazy how easy it is. You can grow to, like, especially like microgreens. You want to do microgreens.
Absolutely, and it's so clean.
Yeah.
No dirt,
dirt.
no insects,
Right.
no tilling, just straight into the water.
So anybody can grow.
So anybody can grow. So you can see the thickness of this, and the growth medium goes to approximately here.
Okay.
And then you can see these lights, and we try to time it according to the growth. And so we give them an 8-hour cycle, then a 12-hour cycle, and then a 16-hour cycle.
Wow.
So I mentioned to you that we originally wanted to start with just a fruit tree orchard as part of our vision. Just over this past year, with the passion of our volunteers and the generosity of our community, we've now expanded to 3 other areas. And so the second area we're going to expand to is,
so
as you can see, Freeport LNG. They donated.
I know those guys.
Yeah, they donated some monies for us to build these beehive observatories.
Wow.
And so you'll see that once the weather is warmer, we'll bring in the hives, but you can see that the hives are not what you think of as Winnie the Pooh in a
Right.
circular fashion. They're actually these panels, and so there will be 8 of these panels in each one of these, so a total of 16.
That is.
Because they are such good pollinators. But in addition to that, as of course, they also make honey, and so we're looking to do both of those, since we have 61 acres here, to have good pollination of not only our fruit trees but our greenhouses, but also to
Especially with
honey.
y'all's orchard, man. It's going to do
Absolutely.
amazing. Have y'all done boxes in the past outdoors?
We are going to be expanding to boxes in the back.
Oh,
there.
perfect. Okay, so y'all have this and other.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
That's great.
And so we're super excited about this because, as you know, the bees are declining not only here but just worldwide because of increased urbanization and pesticide use.
Right.
But we are trying to be a truly organic farm here.
Right.
We're not going to use pesticides. We're going to allow some of the weeds and the natural endemic flowers to grow so that they can do pollination here.
Correct. Okay, cool. Well, these are great. And y'all built these yourselves?
So we have the president of Brazoria County Beekeeper Educational Seminar, which you can see on our website, harvestforthehungrytexas.org.
And I'll drop the links for all of that in the bottom.
Awesome. So if you look under the educational tab, you'll see his 45-minute seminar that
That's
he gave
so
this
cool.
past week. So he's the one that built these, and we're looking very much forward to having the beehives brought in, which will probably be, if there's a warmer day next week. It looks like there's a day that might be between 60s and 70s. We can bring them in. If not, we may have to wait till February, March to bring them in. Focusing on is on fish farming. So Bass Pro sponsored us with $10,000, and about 2 months ago we stocked this 27-acre lake with 7,125 fish. So we have channel catfish, we have bluegill, we have sunfish, and we also have F1 bigmouth bass.
Wow.
In addition to that, there were already existing redfish, and redfish is one of these sport fish that give you a good fight and they taste really good.
Right.
And so that's what we have in there. I'm going to show you now the beginning of our orchard. 450 fruit trees. To level it, we planted 450 fruit trees, and we're going to go through here. We added an irrigation system. So these right here, they don't have much leaves because it's cold and it's going into winter since we're in December, but these are nectarines. I'm sorry, those are plums. These are nectarines. Try not to make too many ruts.
I like the CD method too.
Yes, so a lot of people ask, why do you have these CDs hanging on the trees, and why do you have these white things at the bottom of the trees? And so the CDs are to prevent birds from eating the fruit trees,
Right.
fruit off the fruit trees, because the sun will shine onto the shiny side of the CDs and they'll blind them and they'll scare them.
Right.
And the white things on the bottom are to protect the trunk, and then also they're slippery, so mice and rats can't climb up the tree trunk and eat the fruit.
Right.
Is helpful, and we're going through some apple trees here now.
And so, is there a long enough dormant time for apples down here? Really, like, because I know certain fruit trees have to have like a certain amount of like freezing temperature per year to
Yes.
produce. So it gets cold enough to actually produce apples and stuff.
Absolutely.
Really?
So you're absolutely right, Dustin. Apple trees typically require 300 or more chill hours, and so that they can go into dormancy, rest, and produce enough energy once it gets warmer temperature. These trees are called Anna apples, and so they're designed for this climate. In other words, they don't need those hundreds of hours of chill hours to go into dormancy to produce fruit. My understanding is Texas A&M had a great deal of involvement in engineering and designing these trees so they don't require those chill hours, so that we can grow apples in this warmer environment, if you will. And we want people to just come over here and enjoy. And so eventually the vision is that all this area would be cleaned out. People would have an opportunity to walk around the lake, get some exercise. We'll have some spots for picnic benches that they can enjoy, trees that they can sit under. They can read, pray, meditate, enjoy the fruits and vegetables that they have. We want this to be a community center for the community.
Absolutely.
And people don't often recognize from the street how big this property is.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, as we go around this corner, I mean, you can see this is huge back
Wow.
there. If we clear all this back out here, we could definitely put more fruit trees,
Right.
more plants, more edibles out here, and we want them to enjoy that and experience that.
And so y'all have plans for the future to clear all this out?
Yes, that's our second phase. This first year was our first phase, just to get the orchard and the greenhouses in. Our second phase is to kind of clear this out, and we also want to plant more wildflowers and also sunflowers.
Okay.
And those are extremely important for bee pollinations. They use that pollen and they get that nectar, and that's how they make their honey.
So what is your background? They called you Dr. David earlier, so you're a doctor?
I am. My background is actually in two areas. I'm a physician serving as an emergency room physician at the Veterans Affairs Hospital, the medical center.
Oh, wow.
And then secondly, I serve as a Presbyterian minister at Faith Fellowship Church in Cypress, Texas.
Oh wow, so you live in Cypress? So you live up in that area?
Actually, I live in the medical center.
Oh wow.
And so this is a far drive. It's a 2-hour round trip every day, but it's so worth it.
It's a labor of love.
It's a labor of love, and you know, it's what people tell me, and this is exactly how I feel, is when they come out here, they feel like this is therapeutic to them.
Right.
You know, with our COVID-19 pandemic going on, people are cooped up in their home, they can't get out. This gives them an opportunity to be outside, and obviously we take all the appropriate preventative measures of social distancing and wearing masks and keeping sick people away from here. But you always feel a nice cool breeze here, and it's just, you could be one with nature here.
Right.
And you can see even here, this is a huge area that we have potential to grow additional fruit trees, as well as put a greenhouse. So to get back to what we were originally talking about, I told you there was 4 or 5 areas of farming. We've already talked about the fruit trees, we talked about the greenhouse, we talked about the hydroponics, we talked about the fish farms. But the last that we plan to do within the next coming year is to do chickens.
Oh great.
And we want to grow chickens and have eggs, and we think that would be a wonderful source of protein.
Absolutely.
For those that are struggling with food insecurity here.
Moon dust.
Moon dust. Moon dust. Yep, it's got lots of
nitrogen and stuff in it.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's pretty good. Isn't that lovely?
Alright, bye. So I never really know how to end these videos. I gotta get better at that, doing like an outro while I'm at the actual farm. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I will leave the links for Harvest for the Hungry at the bottom, and their Instagram as well. But if you'll like this video, make sure to share, and see y'all next time.